Extras,
where we talk about sex and all the extras.
I'm Honey,
And I'm Maria.
and today we are gonna talk about attraction.
Yes.
It's gonna be quite conceptual. We have established, but that's fine.
Yeah, we're just gonna have like a conversation about it. I basically we're not gonna reach any kind of conclusion on anything. We're just gonna have a chat about attraction.
The wonders of attraction.
Yeah.
The wonders of the universe.
So
Yeah.
sit back, relax.
Just chill. Yeah. What zone are you in this week?
What zone am I in? I'm in the blue zone, I would say.
Aww.
Yeah. I mean, I had like a really great time with my boyfriend, and I just got really sad like towards the end, like right before he left, and I don't know, we were like talking about it, and I was like, yeah, it's like kind of weird, like I haven't felt like this sad about leaving each other for a while. So yeah, I don't know, but I'm fine, all good, you know, we're all good. We had a great weekend, great 3-year little celebration.
Cute.
Yeah, he wrote me this really cute card.
Oh, that's nice.
Sorry, I just mentioned that because, you know, he's really not that kind of guy. Like, at all.
Yeah, that was
so,
like,
you know,
unexpected.
Yeah, quite cute.
Very cute.
So, yeah, but feeling a bit blue now because I'm all alone without my baby.
Oh, no. You're going to be this sad when I leave.
Yeah, I'm going to cry.
You better be.
It's just blue after this, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Until Honey comes back.
So sad. But yeah, anyway. I
How are
mean,
you
also,
feeling?
we haven't really mentioned that I'm going to America.
Yeah.
But, like, probably when all these episodes are coming out, I will be there, so.
Yeah, you guys won't even know until, like, way after.
Yeah, I'll update you on my wild adventures. All my friends keep saying that I have to like vlog the experience, and that I have to go on a date when I'm there, so I'll do a little like America dating vlog. I don't think I'll show it to you because that's a bit weird. It's just gonna be for my friends to keep them updated. But anyway.
Sextras goes to America.
Yes, Sextras on tour. But like only me. Yeah, I did try to get Maria to go with me, but she doesn't like me enough, apparently.
Obviously, I just prefer the children. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, what zone am I in this week? Probably grey. Yeah.
Damn.
Very confused vibes.
Not the nicest colours on this couch today.
No, grey and blue.
Yeah.
Just like the weather.
Yeah, literally, mate. We're matching it.
Yeah.
But why? Because you're kind of stressed about going away, or?
Yeah, and like I've just decided that grey is confused, apparently. So yeah, stressed and confused.
Stressed and confused.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sad, stressed, and confused.
The best feelings. But yeah.
Cute.
Okay,
fun. Well, yeah, that's how we're coming at you.
Yes.
Live. No.
And now we're going to talk about attraction. So we started with a segment where we asked you guys how you are attracted to people, if you're always crushing on people or if you're attracted when you get to know them. And it was 50-50.
Damn.
Yeah.
Split right in the middle.
Yeah, it did have a little waver for a second. It was like 52-48 towards always crushing. But now it's 50-50.
Okay. I mean, I feel like basically it all started from like Honey and I feel like we experience attraction kind of differently,
Yeah.
you know? I'm more on the like always crushing side, and Honey's like always like needs to get to know them kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But we do acknowledge, I feel like this 50-50 kind of just goes to show that it is like sometimes to some people you will experience like instant attraction and you'll be like crushing on them, but for some people it will be like you have to get to know them and then you'll like start developing an attraction to them or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't think it's like necessarily a binary thing, as you were kind of hinting at, but like I definitely experience one way more than the other, and like I also don't know if there's necessarily a better way to be. I mean, I kind of do think that your way is the better way, but we'll get into it, I guess.
And then we also we wanted to elaborate, so we, to paint a little bit of a picture of what we wanted to ask. We were like, how does this affect your dating life? If you're attracted to them, when you get to know them, does this mean that you avoid dating, or do you try to be friends with them first? If you like them straight away, how do you approach that? Do you try not to come off too strong? And then just basically any other thoughts that you guys had about attraction. And the first one is, if I get to know them, it's bad because I can really easily make them a friend, which completely puts me off.
I feel like this was something that neither of us really thought about.
Yeah, a bit of a curveball.
Yeah.
Because I don't think this has ever happened to me. I feel like the way that I see it is like I'm either like attracted to them or not from the start. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it makes complete sense that you can be like physically attracted to someone and then get to know them, and it's like emotionally it just doesn't match up.
Yeah.
But I also think that's like a little bit fucked up of science to like make that happen to us. Like not science, but you know what I mean? Like our minds and bodies, that we are capable of being attracted to just people that are not right for us.
Yeah, true.
Surely there should be more of like an elemental level of like we just know.
Yeah, of like fight or flight as well.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, just to add to this submission, like I have had, for instance, like people that I've gone into, like we've like met, whatever, I was attracted to them, we became friends, then like maybe there was something more, and then I was like, nah, actually, like I'm not attracted to them in like a relationship kind of way, but that doesn't take away the like physical attraction. Like I still think that they're attractive.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I feel like there's like a clear line between like attraction and like an emotional connection kind of thing or whatever. And then it's like you have to get both to like
the magic combo.
The magic combo.
Yeah, I guess. But then there's also people that don't need the emotional connection. And that's what I don't understand, of like, obviously you will need it eventually if you pursue a relationship with them, but like what does that look like, of just deciding, okay, I'm going for this person? Like I wish that I could be as carefree as that, but that will just never ever be me. Ever.
But is that not more about like, I just don't see how that's about attraction though. Is that not more about just like, I don't know, like maybe it's the risk reward idea of it. Like to me, maybe it just doesn't seem like a risk to like just go for it and be like, okay, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But for you it does. But I don't, it's just like the way that you've like, because I don't think anything bad would happen. It's not that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, I don't want it to sound like I'm like, oh, I know that like it's gonna go well for me and you know that it's not gonna go well for you. That's really not what I mean at all. I just think it's more like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fine. Whereas like your mind is like, oh, this is not gonna be fine.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, I really don't want to make this an episode about attachment styles, but I feel like we just should, for like our own credibility, acknowledge that like this can obviously be affected by your attachment style, and like kind of what you were just describing just then, of like the risk reward is like, my avoidance is like, I don't want to be emotionally involved in this person, so I'm not gonna like give myself the chance to get to know them, because then I will be attracted to them. Whereas for you it's like not that big of a deal. Like you enjoy forming emotional connections with people, so you'll like more readily do that. But obviously that's like, I don't really think that that's always the case, because as we were saying, like it can kind of be a bit of both. And like I definitely have met people that I'm like instantly just so attracted to them that it's like overwhelming, whereas with other people I'm just like not that bothered. But then so this whole episode is kind of born out of this like crisis of me being like, why do I just like not ever find people attractive? Like, is this something that I should strive towards? Like, do I need to make myself find more attractive people, or like do I need to like get more emotionally involved with the people that I'm already dating? you know? It's just like, I don't understand attraction, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is like a little bit of a mindfuck.
Yeah.
Because it is sometimes like you will just like have this like instant connection or whatever with someone, but it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why? And then with some other people, it's like, oh, I find you really attractive, but it's like, I don't know, it's just not a vibe, you know?
Yeah. Like, physically, you are exactly my type, but you're not emotionally my type. But some people are like super emotionally your type, but physically not your type. And then it's also like, which one do you make allowances for more? Like, because I think it's less acceptable to go for someone who's like more physically your type and less emotionally your type. But I'm sure there are people that like don't agree with that.
Yeah. But
I mean you are wrong. And like, it also depends kind of what you're looking for as well, I guess. But then that's like not really an element of attraction, I don't think. But then is attraction about like your mindset as well? This is a question of like,
yeah, is it about your mindset? Because I also feel like, for instance, like when you're single, you like go out and you like, or kind of like you scan people and you're like, okay, I find this person attractive. No, yes, like way more than like when you're in a relationship. And it's like, you know, that thing of like, this is obviously not like the case, it's an exaggeration, but it's like, oh yeah, I like literally don't find other people attractive anymore.
Yeah.
And like that is definitely a thing of like how you just don't notice hot people as much.
Yeah, and you can like acknowledge it, but you're not like attracted to them. You're just like, oh, they're like good looking.
That's kind of so weird, mate, actually.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's attraction. It's like, surely it's not like, oh, it's like
it just
taken up
off.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's taken up too much by this person, so like now you can't see the others. Like,
no, because then there's also this thing of like getting to know someone, and I do kind of think like the more you get to know someone, hopefully you'll be like more attracted to them. So then it does just take up all of your like attraction energy in your mind.
True. Okay, before we like literally get through the whole episode, should we move on to the next submission?
Yes, someone said, I come off very strong and I think it's got to be an immediate connection, otherwise I lose interest within a couple of days. 100% or 0%. Interesting.
That's another thing we hadn't thought about, like the whole losing interest like aspect of it.
Yeah, and
that
like
is
the whole
also huge
immediate connection thing of like, is that necessarily the best case for you to pursue someone when you have that immediate connection, but then you could lose interest? Because it's like, I don't think that makes for a very sustainable, like, long-term relationship. And like, surely that is more about like the spark or whatever, which is such a mystical aspect of attraction that no one really understands. But at the same time, like, we also know that it can be like a trauma bond kind of like experience of like, oh, I'm super attracted to this person because they like they fulfill these like toxic things that I am drawn to, but then once I get to know them, it's like, oh, actually, like, they're disgusting. Or like it could be like a way more positive thing as well of like, oh, they're very initially attractive and like come off super well, but then once you get to know them, you like see all these other sides of them.
But yeah, I don't know, I do think this whole spark thing is super super interesting as well. I feel like it's like a very huge thing, and I do feel like, I don't know, if I went on a first date with someone like off Hinge or something like that, you know, like a stranger, and I didn't have like that initial spark or attraction, I think I would be inclined to just like leave it, even though I do believe that it's like, I just don't think that you're gonna have this like spark, amazing thing at the start. And like my boyfriend now, we didn't have that. Like, we were friends and I didn't find him attractive until like I fell in love with him literally like the next second, you know, kind of thing. It's like, I feel like it can be very true that you don't have this initial spark with people, but then I also believe very strongly in this whole spark thing, because I just feel like there's some people that you meet, not even in a romantic way, like this can be completely platonic, and like actually more often I have more experiences in my life that have been that way, that is like you meet them and you just like you just click, like there is just this kind of like spark, you know. And I feel like then there's just people that you meet and that just doesn't happen, and it's like, I don't know, I feel like in a way you do kind of need that, you know.
You need it to keep
like you need
I
think you do need a click, and but not a spark. You know, I think
the spark click dichotomy.
I don't think that I could like fall in love with someone that I didn't have this click with. But like I wouldn't give them a go. Like, you need to click. I don't know. Like, it's just like it's an ineffable thing.
Yeah, but is click more of an emotional thing, or is it more? And I think click is more of an emotional thing, and spark is more of a physical thing. And like physical and like sexual chemistry.
Okay, chemistry is that. I was gonna ask if you mean like in a chemistry kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Because I completely agree with you of this, like, if I go on a date with someone and I have this like emotional chemistry with them, kind of going back to like the first submission of the segment, I'm like, oh, this would like I'll have fun on the date, but then once I leave, I'll be like, that is a friend in my mind, and I'll be like, I don't think there was any like spark, there was no like romantic chemistry there. Yeah. But it's like, what is really the difference, you know? But I think there has to be like a mutual understanding on both sides that is the dynamic between you, because like with my ex, I just met him like at the beach, and like he was obviously pursuing me and like I want to date you way, but for me it was just kind of like, oh, let's hang out and like see where it goes. And then he was like very persistent in a like, you're gonna get to know me way. And then I like did get to know him, and then because I got to know him more, I like was like attracted to him more and more as I got to know him. So, and then this is the other aspect of attraction, is like, how can it just go away? Like, I'm not saying that I like during the relationship I stopped finding him attractive, but it's like once you break up with someone, why is that gone? Is it like because, is it like a self-protective thing of they've hurt me so I don't find them attractive anymore, or is it like you just genuinely don't find them attractive anymore? And like, surely that's not the same for everyone as well, because some people still find their exes attractive after they've broken up with them.
Yeah, I have exes that I find attractive and exes that I don't.
Yeah, that's wild.
It is wild. Maybe it's just your taste changes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that is another thing of like dating and relationships, another category just like thrown in there.
Crossover episode, guys.
Wait till you see the tags on the website, guys. It's gonna be wild. This is just like our silly little podcaster brains. We're broken.
Yeah, so much like behind the scenes info as well.
Yeah, like they probably have no fucking idea what we're talking about. Go check out the website www.sextresspodcast.com. But yeah, anyway, this is another thing of dating and relationships, of like, you accumulate things along the way, and like that will inform your attraction. And we were kind of talking about this the other day of like, is your first love the most like pure, untainted love you're ever gonna have? Because that attraction is like completely unrelated to anything else. Like, it's like, you obviously,
you're not like you're not like safeguarding or like
yeah
or like
or
you're not getting in your own way, like you're not getting in the way of like your very pure like reaction and feelings of it, even though it is like all of those are informed by like, you know, the media that we consume and blah 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 blah.
We live in a society,
you know. But you know,
but yeah, so, and also taking into account that like at least our first loves were like when we were teenagers, so your hormones are flying all over the place. Like that is a very real aspect as well. But I'm sure for people that don't have that, that is still the same. Like, it's very just like raw, organic, pure kind of feelings, and then as you experience your first breakup or as you like accumulate more partners, it's all informed by these things. And that is, and so, this is blowing my mind, like this is another like really complex thing to do with attraction, of like deciding whether or not you find someone attractive, because you can see other people that you've dated in someone that you're attracted to, and being like, is that something that makes me more attracted to them, or is that something that like turns me off a bit? And I don't really like, is that a stage where attraction becomes more logical and like more intentional, or is that still just a subconscious part of attraction in itself? Like surely it's kind of a mixture of the two, and like you do kind of have to make some conscious decisions along the way of like, I shouldn't pursue this person because I have this like crazy chemistry with them, but like I know there's all these other drawbacks that like it's probably not the smartest idea for me to pursue this, you know?
Yeah. But then maybe it's about just sort of like categorizing your attraction, like what?
Categorizing.
Yeah, genuinely, like, because I feel like there, I don't know, you know, through this conversation is just coming up that like there's lots of different, not that it's a revelation, just like there's lots of different types of attraction, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's some people that you meet that you just want to fuck them, and there are some people that you meet that it's like, oh wow, like I feel like I've known this person for ages, you know what I mean? Like there's many different types of like, I guess, connections that you make with people, and maybe it's just seeing it as like for what it is.
Yeah.
But obviously that's a lot easier said than done. It's kind of like, you know, when the fucking CBT, when they're like, acknowledge your feeling, and like what's triggering this feeling, what's the real emotion behind this, or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess my point being there's just lots of different types of attraction.
Yeah.
And it's just about what you're gonna do with the information that you've got.
Yeah. Okay, should we go on to the next submission? This is like a wild card episode, guys. We're really just throwing the plan out the window.
Okay, yeah, someone else said, I think with crushing, I try to go as friends first because I get so afraid / anxious of messing it up.
Again, that's like the logical aspect of attraction, and like I feel like that's when it becomes very intentional and something that I want to do less. Like I want to be less intentional. I want to be so careless and free, but I can't. Yeah, of like, okay, so I'm gonna be friends with this person, and then potentially we will date, which there is kind of like a slightly fucked up aspect to that as well, don't you think?
I don't know, not really.
But yeah, I guess it cannot be like a, oh, this is the plan. It can just be kind of like, oh, we're gonna just say you have this chemistry or like click with someone right off the bat. You then have that moment to like make the decision of like, is this gonna be the kind of click that is a spark, or is this gonna be the kind of click that I see where it goes, and it's like, it doesn't have to be romantic, and it doesn't have to be platonic, it's just simply chemistry, or like a click.
Yeah. Maybe it's not about, like, I feel like we're thinking way too much about this, because like when
really
no, like when this happens you just kind of go with it. It's like you experience like a type of attraction and then you act accordingly. Like if you experience this attraction that is like, oh, like they're fit and I'm into them, like they're cool, then it's kind of like you're gonna go more towards the like, oh, like I want, you know, like the connection is gonna be more serious in some level, because it's like, you know, it's on both ends is going like well, right? Whereas like if you meet someone and it's like you're like sexually attracted to them, you're just gonna like try to shag them. I don't know, it's like you don't think about it, you just act accordingly to like the attraction that you're experiencing. No, like almost like robotically.
Yeah, but it's so, isn't that wild though, that just happens and we don't even really think about it until like we have to.
But then I guess this is what the person's trying to do. It's like controlling it almost. Like, okay, like I'm crushing on them. Like, and it's kind of like, you know, you care to some extent because it's like you don't want to mess it up. So you want to befriend them first, whatever. But I mean, I definitely, I'm into this technique. I feel like it makes the most sense because I think once you build like a connection with someone and like you're friends and like you feel like this person knows you, you feel like you know them like to some level and like you can be comfortable around them and trust them. And it's so much easier to develop like this sort of like romantic attraction. And like this because you already kind of have this like trust and like camaraderie, you know.
Yeah, and I guess it feels a lot more secure and like less just acting on raw feelings or like whatever this mysterious element of attraction is that none of us can really explain. But yeah. Okay, so should we talk a little bit about like should we map our attraction? Like,
yeah.
So as I was saying, like first loves, it was just very like I don't know. I actually think that my first love was very like I want to be friends with this person because they're queer and we were just friends because of that. And I feel like it is probably quite different for queer people because it's such a thing to have like a community of queer people. So I feel like this is quite an accurate representation of that, of like we were all just coming into our like maturity as like bisexuals. Like yeah, that, exactly that.
Yeah, no, but I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And like just naturally different attractions were formed within that. So that felt like, I don't know, a lot more gradual than I feel like it should have. If 16-year-old me wasn't me and like it was a stranger and I was hearing about this story and like what the relationship after was like, if I had to like do the match the attraction to the relationship, I would have not put the attraction that I had to the relationship that came after it.
So your initial attraction did not like
I'm
pay
not,
off?
No, I'm not saying that like I wasn't attracted to her. I'm saying the way I was attracted to her as a 16-year-old and like how rational it was and like how gradual it was doesn't make sense to the relationship that followed it and like what the relationship was like following it.
Right, okay. So you're saying it was like a very gradual attraction and that's not the way that like gradual, like rational, I'm thinking about this, like taking your time, and then the relationship was quite chaotic. Is that the point that you're trying?
Exactly.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
So maybe that like completely just makes our argument about attraction and like sparks void, like because that doesn't really fit that theory, you know?
Right, yeah, because you were like being careful and then you still got hurt.
Yeah,
no. I think that I just gonna go back to my point about how like I just feel like it's a very unique thing with like the person and like you know how it all works out and whatever. But I do think that for instance, I think the thing that differentiates us is not, it's not necessarily about like the attraction that we experience. I just think I'm more active in my attraction and you're more passive in it. Like
100%.
you're, or like not even passive. I think the word that I thought of earlier was it's like reactive.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like like sex. Like there's people that have like reactive desire.
Yeah.
Like responsive desire, and there's some people that have like spontaneous desire.
Yeah.
You know. So, oh my god, that is what it is. Surely, like, like if you think about it, that's genuinely what it is. Like, There's some people that have, like, responsive desire, and there's some people that have, like, spontaneous desire, and that's literally what attraction is. Like, there's some people that get spontaneously attracted to people, and there's some people that, like, you need a more, like, of a nudge to be like, oh, I am attracted to you.
Solved attraction, mate. That's the end of the episode.
But yeah, no, that surely that is a contributing factor to that as well.
Yeah, I think it definitely is. And like, but this is kind of what we want to understand is like, is attraction purely sexual and physical, or is it emotional? And I guess like some people have more emotional sex, or like more like rational pinpointing exactly what turns them on, and some people it's a lot more like nebulous and just like this sound or this kind of what we were talking to Sarah about of like why are some people just turned on by like sounds or like certain feelings, you know, like people come like the first time they touch leather, like you know, that kind of thing, versus like I'm picturing this scene in my head, this person is touching my leg. Anyway. So anyway, map your attraction.
Map my attraction. Wait, you didn't really map your attraction though. You kind of just talked about your attraction to your ex in your first relationship. Sorry.
Okay. So then after that, I feel like I was like, I'm gonna be a slut. And I was like, I'm gonna be careless, and like I don't want to get into a relationship anyway. And I guess this is where like the mindset aspect comes in of like I wasn't looking for that emotional connection. I was just kind of looking for that, like, is this someone that I could fuck? Regardless of even, like, physical attraction, because it's, like, really looking at my track history, like, was that something I took into account? So then, yeah, like, where the fuck does that come from? Like, how is that possible that you can have sex with people that, like, you're not really attracted to? Because then also now, like, mapping my attraction even further, I feel like I've kind of gone the complete opposite of like I want to be more intentional, but now I feel like I've gone too far with my intentionality of like I don't give people, I either give people too many chances or I don't give them enough chances, and I'm like, this is too friendly and platonic for my liking, so I'm not gonna pursue it in like a sexual way. Like I think we had the click, like the platonic click, and I think we got on, but I don't know if I necessarily want to sleep with you. And then there's like also the opposite of like I'm just the duality of man. It's coming back. It's also like I really want to fuck you, but I actually don't really like you as a person. And me trying to be like, okay, I'm like not gonna pursue that because that's like not the right kind of attraction. You know, like I feel like we just have these ideas of attraction, as we do with everything that we talk about in the podcast, of like, this is the right way to do it and this is the wrong way to do it. But at the same time, it's so just like natural to us. Like it's so mysterious. I don't know, it's just confusing. It's all very conceptual.
Yeah. No, but I do think then that is why like you kind of just have to go with like, maybe it's just getting better at like, okay, what attraction am I actually feeling and what is this? And but then what do you do when you're confused? Because like as you just said, I see like your situation that you just described, it is kind of like sometimes you'll be like, oh, I don't really like this person but I do want to fuck them. But like I really like this person but I don't want to fuck them, and it's like very conflicting, like what is going on.
And then also like what if you're super attracted to someone but like it's like not reciprocated, or like you don't know like
how they feel.
Like you don't know like what but then you don't know if it's platonic or if it's sexual.
Oh my god, but I think this just, sorry, we're just solving your whole dilemma right now. I think I just solved it. Like I think it just goes back to like this whole like responsive and active thing, because I feel like because this person's not being like active anymore and like not telling you how they feel, and you can't like respond, you kind of like don't know how to feel now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like if you don't have clear like clear stimulus and clear like this is what this dynamic is, then like you can't.
Well, because I think, like, for instance, like, if I was in that situation, I would, like, get the answer. Like, because I would be active in this, like, sort of, like, pursuance of this person, you know? Because I'm, like, even if I was confused, I feel like if there was any chance of me being like, oh, I kind of am into this person, I would, like, pursue it, you know? Whereas, like, you're more likely to take sort of, like, a back seat and be like, what's gonna happen kind of thing.
That's true.
So
I think we would drive each other completely insane if we dated. Like, what would we do?
Or maybe we would be like perfect for each other because we're like complete opposite.
But you'd have to be the dom and I'd have to be the sub. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just such a sub that like I just need someone to tell me exactly what is going on, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, I feel like you do find it kind of hard to like be like, okay, this is what I want and like let's do it now.
Yeah,
in terms of like love.
Yeah.
And
attraction.
Yeah, as in, sorry, that's what I meant, like relationships and like dating and that kind of thing. Not everything is love. There's plenty of shit that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, because I can also think of like plenty of times that I've like been attracted to someone and like talking to them and it's like, why can't I just like make a move? But that is just like a me problem.
Yeah, I don't know, because okay, I just can't relate to that. Like, I just feel like if I like someone, other than if it's like a crush, I think like that's where it differs. Because I don't know, a crush for me is like a very abstract thing. Like, you know, for me, a crush is like someone you don't know and you obsess over. That's what a crush is.
A lack of information.
Yeah. But you don't really do that either.
Yeah, I don't really get crushes. Really, like,
but you do obsess over celebrities. So you do have it in you.
But that's just like more on like a fascination kind of level of like...
Yeah, true.
It's not really like a crush. Yeah. I don't really get like celebrity crushes. Like I'll find celebrities attractive and like I'll get invested in their lives, but it's not really like a crush. Like I'm never like, oh my god, this person, you know?
Nah, but you are a little bit, but... No, you are.
With who?
I can't think of specific people, but I definitely can picture you being like, oh, they're so fit, and like...
Yeah, but I don't think it's like the same as a crush. But I don't know, anyway, it really doesn't matter. But like, the point is I just don't really get crushes, so then when I do, or like when I like someone, it's actually like a massive deal. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah, and then you freak yourself out because you're avoidant. Yeah, and then you're like, fuck, what's happening? I can't like anyone.
This isn't consistent with the rest of my persona. Must be liked by everyone at all times. Don't want to disturb the peace. Anyway, map your attraction now, please. I have said so much.
Okay, map my attraction. Well, I've always like had crushes on people. Like I've from like as long as I can remember, like I've always liked someone, and I think up until my first relationship, like it was always very much like admiring them from afar kind of thing. Like didn't know them at all. Like I was just obsessed, you know. And it's like, yeah, I would kind of just pick someone and run with it, and then. I guess that's kind of what happened with my ex a little bit. Like, I just started, like, having a crush on her, and I didn't really know her or anything about her. And then I, like, slightly got more obsessed and then kind of, like, tried to interact and, like, started this, like, weird pseudo-friendship kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was, like... then that, but I liked her before this all started, and then that's like how the whole plot of us becoming like closer and closer started. And then after that I got her hooked. See, this is what this is my technique. It's like I spot them and then I befriend them, I get them hooked, and then they just can't leave. Like Yeah, that is, I guess, my attraction style. I like find someone, I get obsessed with them, and then I start pursuing them, and I just like them more and more and more and more. But unless they like me back, then I stop liking them.
Interesting.
That is what's happened, like, in the past in terms of, like, my attraction. Like, I'll be attracted to someone, I don't give up, like, pursue, and then if, like, they seem to be, like, really into me, I kind of just, like,
You're not into it.
I'm kind of like, I don't know.
But what is that?
I don't know, but it's the worst fucking thing in the world. I don't know, I just feel like maybe it's this element of the chase. I think because I'm, like, such a pursuer, I feel like a big element of it is the chase, and it's like, how am I gonna get them hooked? And then, like, you know, you get them hooked, and then yeah, and then I still, like, when it ended, like, when I wasn't into it anymore, it was, like, more not into it from, like, the emotional, like, I just wasn't, like, into the thing, rather than, like, I wasn't not attracted to them, because, like, the people that I'm thinking about, I still find them very attractive, and, like, I still would shag them if I was, like, single,
but
I wouldn't want to be with them. I think I'm also quite good at categorizing. Like, I very much categorize in my head, like, I like this could be something, whereas, or, like, this is just sex. Because I'm also kind of thinking back to, like, when I was single, and, like, sort of, like, the interactions that I had, and it was kind of like there were people that I knew that I was only seeing for sex, and, like, it was never going to go beyond that, and it didn't really go beyond that. And then there's people that I know that I like, you know? But maybe not, because my boyfriend now, kind of wild one, you know, because, like, I am, like, it is, like, I'm always crushing on people and whatever, and, like, I do think that, like, previously it's kind of like everyone that I've pursued, and, like, everything is, like, I know that I'm attracted to them, kind of thing.
Like, right off the bat.
Yeah. But my boyfriend, I wasn't really, like, attracted to him when I met him. And then, like, once I got to know him, like, I found him, like, more and more attractive. But I do think that I am also that person that, like, once I get to know people, like, I just find them more and more attractive.
But I feel like that's, like, is that not just a universal?
Yeah, but that's what I was saying.
Thing.
Like, that's what I was saying at the start, that it's a fact. But then I took it back, because then the whole submission that we had of, like, when you get to know someone and then you, like, put them in the friend zone, and then you kind of don't like them anymore.
Yeah, but surely that doesn't happen every time for that person. Like, surely that just can happen.
No, but then also it doesn't happen, because, like, then, like, I'm thinking of, like, the people that I was just referring to, that I, like, kind of liked them, and then we kind of got into it, and then I wasn't into it anymore. It's like, no, I didn't find them more attractive. I found them less attractive. I still find them attractive, like, physically, but, like, that attraction did not grow. So I don't know. I do think it's just, like, it takes that special, like, click.
Yeah, it's the mix of the click and the spark that you need. The ultimate
the perfect
magical
ratio.
combo.
But yeah, and then I just, like, pursued. But yeah, I guess that is my attraction pattern, is, like, crushing, pursuing.
Yeah, just the active, passive dichotomy between us is, like, wild.
But this is what I mean, hun. Like, this is what I have been saying for years now. I think you just have to be like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, you know?
It's because most of the time the attraction isn't enough for me to be, like, bothered, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
Like, it's usually very, like, mild. Just like, oh, they're hot. Like, it would be kind of cool. But also, I think the solution is I just need to get my fucking implant taken out, because I really think once I get it taken out and once I don't have any hormones in me, I'm gonna be like such a sexual, like outgoing being. That's what I'm telling myself.
Yeah, mate.
And even if that's not the case, hopefully the fact that I'm telling myself will be like a little placebo effect.
Yeah, mate,
and then
let's
I'll
make
will
this
it into
happen.
existence.
You gotta make this happen.
Yeah.
I do have one more thing I want to talk about. Like, the whole idea also of, like, types. And sort of, like,
types,
going for your type and, like... Yeah, because I feel like there's loads of people that are very, like, strict on their type. When you don't, like, go outside of your type...
Yeah.
That's kind of sad, because... Also, when I met my boyfriend, I was like... He's, like, really not my type, even though, you know, in the end, he is my type.
No, but this is the thing about types, is, like... I feel like that's just a story of, like, everyone's long-term partners is like, yeah, I wasn't, like, they were, like, not my type in any way, like, I always was going for these kinds of people and it was always going badly, and then suddenly met this person and we, like, had this spark or this click or this wild connection, and I was so surprised. You know, it's like types don't really speak to attraction, I don't think. They speak to, like, what you think you want in your head.
But then again, don't they? Because, like, what I now say is my type, you know? Like, okay, so, sorry, just to go back. So, before I met my boyfriend, I knew, like, in my head, like, this is the kind of boys that I find attractive. And, like, when I saw those kinds of boys, I would find them attractive.
Yeah.
Right? And then post my boyfriend, it's kind of like... What?
What do you mean post your boyfriend?
Wait, no. And then, like, post this whole, like, whatever, my boyfriend wasn't my type thing. And then I, like, revised my type because it was, like, I noticed that the only guys that I've been attracted to are, like, this kind of guy. So I do feel like, your type can just be, like, talking about, like, the kind of person that you do usually go for. But I don't think that should ever be, like, stopping you. As in, like, it should never be, like, a criteria of, like, okay, the person has to meet this and this and this.
Yeah.
At least, like, physically, I think. Because then, like, there's also the whole thing of, like, people are always saying, like, oh, you should, like, know what you're looking for and, like, know what you want and, like, know that specifically. And I do still think that is true, like, that is good advice to, like, know what you want and whatever.
Yeah.
But then at, like, what point does this sort of, like invisible list or whatever that everyone kind of carries around and ends up carrying around stop you from, like, pursuing these connections with, like, the person that could be the one or whatever, if that was a thing. Yeah,
and I think the type a lot of the time, not all the time, but, like, a lot is related to appearance. But, like, there are certain emotional and, like, moral...
Like, in terms of values.
Yeah, values that, like, you can't look past a lot of the time. And I think people are a lot more willing to make allowances on, like, appearance and stuff if you happen to have that spark with someone that, like, was not your type in your head, you know? Because that's, like, the whole mystery of attraction, right? Of, like, just being attracted to people that you wouldn't consider your type and, like, not really understanding why. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. I don't know, do I have a type? You have to answer that question nicely.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's a trick question.
Weirdos, essentially.
Yeah.
Freak. Nah. But do you have a type? I mean, kinda. Yeah, I feel like this is the thing. Like, the thing with types is that, like, I feel like a lot of people, it's not that they actually have, like, a description, like, blonde, tall, like, you know, even though that is definitely a thing as well. But I do feel like most of the time a type is more like, because if you line up, like, people that you've dated, or, like, not even that, just people that you found attractive, like a sample of people that you found attractive.
Yeah.
It would be, like, a general...
The essence.
Like, vibe, don't you think? Because, like...
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I do think that I do think you have a type. I wouldn't be able to describe it, but I do think like they all kind of
it's intangible
merge together. But I mean, a little bit homeless, like musician.
No,
but like that vibe. Like, I'm sorry, but like that
The
is your
vibe
type.
of
Like
a musician.
musician vibes. Like they have to be like artsy in some kind of way. Like I don't see you ever dating like any like a finance bro or anything like that, or like even like a sciencey person. Like,
but I have dated science people.
yeah, but like if they were like properly like proper,
I guess I don't know.
no, but I don't know. Like I see you like with a creative, like,
yeah,
you know, liberal.
yeah. I mean, I so badly don't want to date creatives, but like it just always happens.
Yeah, but I just so don't see it any other way. Like, honestly, yeah, I think type is more like a vibe, which again, like attraction, like it's all just.
It's all just in the ether, and we don't really know.
But yeah, I think we should wrap up before we confuse ourselves even further.
But basically, I mean, there was like not that much of a point to this episode. I feel like we're always trying to make there be like a conclusion, but maybe you'll start considering your attraction to people a bit more, and like the patterns that you see there, and like if those have worked out for you in the past, if they haven't, like what you want to do more. Obviously we have learned I want to be more active, or I should be more active, and don't know what we've learned for you, but you don't need it because you're in a relationship. So if you ever break up, we can look back at this and reassess, but fingers crossed that you don't. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, and I mean, I really like doing more chatty episodes and shit. So if you guys enjoyed them, like, let us know. Let us know if you prefer when we have this like whole like tips and tricks and like deep shit and you know, important stuff, or like when we get more conceptual, or you know, just let us know. Let us know your thoughts.
And like if you have any ideas for episodes, definitely let us know, even though we have plenty lined up. But like obviously we would love to know what you guys want to hear, and you can let us know on our Instagram at Sextras Podcast, on our website www.sextraspodcast.com. We have all the categories there, guys. You should go check it out. Facebook is Sextras Podcast, or you can email us sextraspodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you, and yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye.
You've been listening to Sextras, presented by Honey Jane Wyatt and Maria Jose Hayodatiyi. Produced by Mabel Productions.